I've moved I moved into the testing space where I've got a chance to work with the different UK-based client and worked in the UK as well as Paris. I'm also working as a guest lecturer in some of the top-notch colleges where I'm delivering sessions to the or top-notch organizations or as well as the students who is looking forward to get technical content as well as non-technical content. Currently associated with the Transition Civil as a RPA lead and delivering corporate session as well in the IT industry. Some of the companies name I am already associated with the like NetGem and HCL. Handling my own YouTube channel as well as raigurkul.com to share my knowledge with the complete audience. So I'm always looking forward to share the content with you. Without wasting time, I will directly jump to the content, today's content. So what we will discuss here, I will give the small introduction about Agile and Scrum. I know it is not possible to deliver each and everything about Agile and Scrum, but definitely I will touch base the important concept about Agile and Scrum, what is artifacts and how to use JIRA in RPA and especially Rally in RPA. So these two tools are globally established and almost all of the organizations are using into the Agile or Scrum methodology. So I will touch base practically so that you can know how you can create different artifacts inside the Rally as well as JIRA. So first of all, what is Agile? Agile is an iterative approach to project management and software development that helps team deliver value to their customer faster and with the fewer headaches. So in earlier phases, when Agile would not exist, there was waterfall model or several other iterative methods there. So working in that space is very difficult to track the defects which is occurring at the production incident or at the production timeline. When you move your product, it is always occurring some of the defects. So tracking that defect in initial phases is very much important, which saves our time as well as money. This also helps us to keep on track the project level and make this piece fast so that our product can move on to the production level. So rather than working at the end of the stage, we can find it out at the initial level. So instead of getting everything in a big bang or whatever content we are getting in the production, we are tracking them into the initial stages. And Agile team deliver work in a bit pieces, which is small pieces, and but consumable increments. Requirements, plan, and results are evaluated continuously, so teams have a natural mechanism for responding to change quickly. So when the project will start, which is nicely covered by the Devnit yesterday, he informed us about the different aspects of the document creations. So rather than focusing only the document, here the Agile team is focusing on main content on the small bit and pieces. So first functionality, they will pick it up, complete it, then they will move into the production. Then they will pick it up the second functionality. So small pieces will move into the productions and they will get the time as well. So in today's Agile landscape can seem cluttered with methodologies that promise to take Agile ideals and turn them into real world realities. The manifesto itself was born out of the need to find a common ground among Scrum, stream programming, crystal clear, and other framework. When we are working in Agile, there are several methodologies are also there, like extreme programming as well as Scrum, Kanban. So some of the teams are using Kanban board where to-do list is there. So in to-do list, they are creating to do and finally moving into the production. But when we are working into the Agile, there are different aspects are there. So these aspects will cover it in the further slide. So manifesto of Agile is very huge, but I have picked some of the important manifesto here, where we are uncovering better way of delivering software by doing it and helping others to do it. So when we are working in the team, so these teams are always helping you to each other, and their tasks are already defined in these type of tools. So these tools are like Rally and JIRA. Small aspects and small zone time duration will be locked inside that. If you are spending some time into the meeting, that is also you can mark it here. So rather than spending 8 hours of your work daily, you can bifurcate it and mention it each and every thing, so that our actual working hours will be calculated, and based on that Scrum Master will give the idea how we can move to the production level. So in this type of the Big Bang theory will definitely remove we can here. So let's say at the end we are getting the 10 bug in the production, we can track it in the easy phases. So one of the tester or the enthusiast who already told us like tracking this defect in the production is causing more money as we can track into the initial phases. So individuals and interactions over processes and tools will help us to minimize these defects. Working software over comprehensive documentations, customer collaboration over contract negotiations, responding to change over following a plan. So before starting with the product creation or project creations, the people or the person who is at the top notch like product owner and Scrum Master always planning their assets. Based on the plan, they are giving the sessions or the PI plans to all of the team members or with the business team as well. So PI plan is a quarterly plan which is planned in every Scrum meetings. So in this quarterly plan, they're planning for 3 days. They're making the roadmap for next 3 months. Within 3 days, they are making roadmap for next 3 months. And based on the roadmap, whatever they have created, they are proceeding further. So when we talk about the Agile terminology, there are many things, but I have covered some of the points here so that you're able to understand well when I will jump into the Agile tools like JIRA and Rally. So sprint is a short time box period where Scrum team works in a complete set of amount of work. In some of the organizations, sprint duration will be 15 days. In some of the organizations, they are keeping 1 month of sprint, but maximum of the time globally it is accepted only 15 days of sprint will be available. So within 2 weeks they have to complete their work and then they will move into the retrospective meeting. Post that sprint completions, they will move into the next meeting. But whatever they have fell down or whatever they have missed, they are correcting in the next sprint by taking sprint retrospective meeting. Over there, they are discussing each and every loophole what they have missed it into the previous sprint. So getting sprints right will help our agile team shape better software with fewer headaches. Product backlogs, which is the second terminology and very much important part when we are working into this sprint or agile. Product backlog is taken care of by product owner. In some of the organizations, because RPA is in some of the organizations, they are just starting. So in that point of time, might be product owner will be not there, but this will be taken care by BA only. So that's why it is important. They are creating each and every user story or features and login into the Agile tools. Product backlog is a backlog or prioritization or listing of the works which they can take it in every sprints or every PI plan. So these plans will be created in the initials in the beginning of PI plan, and when they are discussing in the PI plan for 3 months of roadmap, they are clearing out the priorities, which one they will pick it first and which items or which features they will pick it up in the next items. So this will derive the roadmap and its requirement. The most important items are shown at the top of the product backlog, so the team knows that what to deliver first. So prioritization is always on the highest, then high, then medium, and then low. These are the prioritizations label when we are working into the Agile tool. Sprint retrospective, I've already covered it. When we have done with sprint 1, they are taking sprint retrospective meeting where they are discussing about what they have did well and what they have missed. And if there are any dependency with the next sprint, they will clear it out or call it out. Might be they will call it out into the risk. because if because of that dependency they are not able to complete the task, it is a risk for the product or it is a risk for the solution creation. Sprint planning. Sprint planning is again a meetings where all the team members are doing planning. They are marking each every user story and features in a time boxes, and these time boxes they are calculating in capacity planning. So these are the some terminologies. There are a lot more things in the Agile. If you want to learn, you can refer it to my channel. I've created each and everything in detail. You will find it out how we can proceed further. Because within 1 hour of time span, it is not possible to cover each and everything. I will show you in practically by using JIRA and Rally here. So coming down to the Scrum is a framework within which people can address complex adaptive problems while productively and creatively delivering products of the highest possible value. So as compared to the Kanban, Scrum is more familiar with the users because these are following into the different terminologies. They are having a daily Scrum meetings. In the daily Scrum meetings, within 15 minutes, they are planning for their whole day. So everyone can speak it out like what items I am working today and what they have completed yesterday. So in the 15 minutes of time duration, this is called as daily Scrum meeting for Agile team. So if there are 14 to 15 members are there, all the 14-15 members will speak out what items they will deliver it today. And Scrum Master is the person who is handling this team. He is the person, or he or she is the person who is getting all the resources together so that team members can work easily. Then sprint backlogs. Sprint backlogs is nothing but the backlogs which we have moved into the particular sprint. Sprint planning, I've already covered. Product backlog is nothing but if in one PI they have missed anything, they will cover it into the next PI part. Increments. Increments is nothing but when we are completing sprint 1, they will definitely move into the sprint 2. And in sprint 2, they will cover some other items. Might be they have some backlogs for the previous sprint, they will cover it out in that sprint as well. So sprint review meeting will be done at the end of sprint. It means after 2 days, after 2 weeks, they are having a sprint review meeting where they will discuss each and everything in detail, what they have covered it, and they are doing the demo session with the business team. So these are the complete flow of Scrum meeting. So Scrum is a lightweight framework that helps people, teams, organizations generate value through adaptive solutions for complex problems. This is a very simple approach where every team member is responsible for their own work. There's no one is going to help them, especially if they want the support from doing the work, then they have to call it out in the daily Scrum meetings or daily meeting. That is also called as DSU, which is commonly famous name, that is DSU. So Scrum replaces the program algorithmic approach with a heuristic one with respect for people and self-organization to deal with unpredictability and solving complex problems. So this is some of the insight about the Scrum. So let's move into some of the tools which is globally accepted. JIRA is one of the tools which is built by Atlassian, and many of the organizations are, I can say minimum 30% of organization is using JIRA, and rest 45% of the organizations are using Rally. This is a big mark where JIRA and Rally is globally used, and rest of the buckets will come under several other Scrum or Agile tools. So let's jump to the demo of application Rally first, then we will move into the JIRA. So when you are doing the login, you have to create the login credentials. For training point of view, Rally is absolutely free, where you can add 5 users inside your login credential. Post that, you have to pay for it. So minimum 5 members you can add, sorry, maximum 5 members you can add it. And after that, if you want to add some more members, then you have to pay for it. Rally is the tool built by CA Agile Central, post that it is acquired by Broadcom, which is a very well known in electronic industry, and Broadcom is also delivering some enterprise level softwares like SAP or ERP. These type of software will be built by the Broadcom. So once you log in into the Rally, you're able to see this home page where you can organize your home page and add some reports like your defect report or sprint report or some other additional reports. Here, if you want to go into the administration panel, for the administration panel, you have to select on the system administrator. Because I've created my account, I am having a complete administration guide. But if you are getting a login credential from the owner or the system admin, then you have to request for your credential for authorizations. Otherwise, you're not able to see each and everything. So in display preferences, you have to select some settings like roomy, comfortable, or compact. From there, you can select any of the boards. Like if you want to see in the grid boards or you want to see in the normal board. When we are jumping into the edit profile, in edit profile sections, you have this project scope up and project scope down. And in addition to this, if you are not having planner permissions, you will not able to organize or plan for your team. So Scrum Master or product owner is always having this type of permission. Otherwise, they will not able to create a backlog and not able to do the capacity planning. So this is regarding the permissions which I want to tell you. Then moving into the project sections, I already created many of the projects here. If you want to create a project, you definitely need a system administrator login where you can go to the workspace and project, and inside that you can simply go here and click the workspace. Workspace is nothing but a collection of projects where you are doing all your activities. So let's say if you are having a working into the UK zone and all of your projects are related to the UK locations, then they will create a workspace for the UK location. If you are working from the India locations and you have all the projects related to the India location, then you will get the permission of that India location workspace only. Inside the workspace, you can create your own project. So let's say if I'm into the workspace one, I will create my own project because I am having an administrator login credential. But for you, it's totally up to you what login credentials you have. Simply go here and create a new project. Once you click on the new project, you will find it out this panel where you have to enter the name of a project. Complete description is required because not only you using this project, everyone or all of your team members will going to use this project. So once you will enter all of the details, click on save and close, and your projects will be created perfectly. You can see here. Now here you will find it out plan sections where you will create your backlog. So as I said, backlogs is the prioritization of your work where you can do planning. So these contents will be created in many of the cases, or 95% of the cases will be created by product owner. But in RPA based organizations, in some of the organizations, you will not find it out. The product owner is there, Scrum Master is there. So majorly BA team is handling with the help of technical team. So be it person who is handling this activity, not in every cases. So mark my word, not in every cases BA person is handling this activity, but many of the time I have seen where the team members in RP project are less, BA person who is handling this activity. So once I will creating the backlogs, I will simply click on add new, and here I will select the project name and I will enter my backlog here. So I'm giving backlog 1, and then I have to select the type. So which type of backlog you're creating? Let's say I'm creating user story. So user story is a small piece of information where you want to build it within a one sprint. So user story stick with the one sprint only. If you are having any backlogs is pending and you want to move this user story, maybe you have to do the partition of that user story, and whatever it's done, you can complete it in the same sprint, and post that you can move into the next sprint. So here the plan estimates will be done. So this plan estimates is totally dependent on your group of member and your team size, and even the delivery of your content. So if you are calculating on the hourly basis, then you have to mark it here. But if you are working in the daily basis, then one day will be one estimate for you. So if you are thinking this user story will be completed in 5 days, so mark here as a 5. If you are thinking this user story will be completed in 45 hours, and you are logging the plan estimate in hours, then you have to mark it as a 45 hours. So this is how the structure organization is following. It's totally up to your organizations. They are following the plan estimate in hours or in days. So if you are working in days, keep simple 5 plan estimate. It means 5 story points. This is always stacking into these story points. So story points is 1 story point, it means 1 day. 2 story point, it means 2 day for you. So you can calculate it accordingly. So 45 hours, I'm not saying you can enter directly 45 hours, divide with your hours. So let's say for actual working hour, it means like if you have 8 hours of work in your office, none of your or none of employees working completely 8 hours into their time zone. So might be they are spending 15 minutes into the meetings, half an hour for their lunch time, then again 15 minutes for their some of the breaks. So it means you are losing 1 hour out of 8 hours. So you have only 7 hours of pending. And still, if you have any other work which you need to focus on it, then you have to subtract the other hours from here as well. Let's say if you have 2 hours of work in some other project, then 7 minus 2, it will become 5 for you. It means you have only 5 hours actual working hour for you. So this is a major important concept which is handled by the either Scrum Master or the product owner. In some of the cases, this will be handled by business analyst who will track it, how many hours that person is working in the project. In some of the cases, few of the resources on shared basis. It means 4 hours that person is working in one project, and next 4 hours they are working in some other project. So it means you have only 4 hours for a day. So you cannot mark it on the day basis. So you have to plan it accordingly. And plan estimate is always done by the story points. So you have to calculate and add your story points accordingly. Then you will find out create and create with the details. Post create with the details. You have to add the new items name and descriptions. In this user story point, what you are going to deliver or what you are going to complete it. So let's say I am the product owner who is creating this user story. Then I will write it here. I want, let's say I want to build the functionality of WhatsApp recording. So I want WhatsApp recording should be completed and signed off by QA. In some of the organizations, they have two different teams, QA and UAT both. So they are properly mentioning QA and UAT. They will need the sign off from the QA and UAT both. You can add the detail about what all functionality you will need. You will need only audio calling or video calling. So product owner will describe each and everything in this, which is very important for everyone, not only for the developer. This is also important for the business team who is tracking this user story. Then if the product owner is having their own attachments, they can attach it. Then if they want to add these some notes, they will add it. Parents, it means if you want to add with any parents features or the user story, you can add it. If you want to add tags is nothing but used for the searching your components. Then iteration is nothing but releases, in which release they are going to deliver it. Iteration is the time box period where release, iterations, and teams are there, where they are going to track each and everything in detail. Then post entering all this detail, if you have any milestone, you can set it and click on create. Your user story will be created successfully. And when you are creating a user story, it is always starting with the US, that is user story. Now here you can even elaborate on the more descriptive panel. If 5 member is working on this user story, that person, all 5 members has to create their own task. So when we are creating the task, we have to define the task name. So let's say I'm the developer who is going to build this functionality. So I will create on development point of view, my task on development point of view. So I will define here so that others can know it. This task is mine. So development, dev task 1, right? Then I will estimate my own time, which will not go beyond this user story. So let's say I'm estimating 2 days for the development of this, and I will simply click on create. Next time, if the user story will be completed or this task will be completed, definitely this will going to be assigned to the QA team or the testing team who will test it. So for this, I will copy and paste it and mark this user story for QA. And these activities done by the person who is going to perform this activity. Like, so here, this is done by the QA. So might be he will take or he or she will take 1 day. So because of that, they have provided the duration is 1 day. Next items might be we have 2 different teams for the testing. So third one is for the UAT team. So here we have to define UAT. Now you can see done and here 1. So you can calculate it 2 and 2 4, and we still have 1 day left, which is required for the deployment or moving into the production, which is again required some of the documents, approvals, everything will be there. So the product owner will take, or the Scrum Master or business analyst will take 1 day for approval activity. It means we are completing this user story within the frame. Even if you want to mark the child user story, where you will create the different user story in the child point of view, where you will create their own child user story, where the person will work in that child's user story. So let's say if we have a big work in one user story, they can divide into the child user story. If testing team is working on the test cases, they can upload directly their test cases here by selecting link existing, or you can directly import it from the Excel sheet as well. The automation feature is also there in the Rally, where they can use it. If they have found any defects, they can raise it simply from here. Revision history, you can easily see it, what all action will be done by all these members. Dependencies, if there is any dependencies there, Scrum Master will call it out in this user story or in this user story. If they found any risk related with that, they will raise this risk, because they cannot suffer at the end. And when they will committed it, when they have committed it, we can complete it within 5 days, but still they have one risk that will highlight to the business team. This will never move into the production. So this is how it is working into the user story level. Then I'm just talked about the backlogs, user story, and task. Then we do have the features as well. So when we are talking about the user story, you can do the filter and find it. All these user story will be here in the planning sections. Time boxes, which plays very important role. So time boxes will be differing into the 3 parts. One, iteration, releases, and milestone. So releases is basically in first release, they have released version v.1. Then in the different release, when they will fix the defect, they will release a second releases as well, like v1.1 or v1.2, something like that. So when we will create the releases or the iterations or the milestones, so simply we have to go to the click add new, and add the detail about your release. Then the duration. So if you are focusing about the sprint and you are thinking that your sprint will start from the 4th, it's totally up to your organization to organization when your sprint is starting. For every project, they are keeping the same or standard for every project. So in release start date, they will select and post that in 2 weeks of time, they will call it out the release or the sprint end date. So you can see 4th to 17 will be your release start date and end date. And we do have the different plannings, active and accepted. So they will create it for the planning point of view and enter the name here like V1.2 and click on create. Now you can see V1.2 is created, still in the planning phase. If you found this planning phase is completed, you can move into the active state. It means this is already running into the sprints, right? Then team planning will be done for all of the team members, where all of the team members can log their hours, or you can pull it out from the iterations. So if you have any iterations, select that iterations, and from that you can pull it out all their backlogs or all their user story which they have picked it for this iterations. So iteration will be called it out nearly about the same, where this is used for your reporting point of view, right? So here you will find it out, all the team planning will be here. In the quality contains, this is majorly used by the reporting of defect suits, test cases, test plan, and quality management. Tracking point of view, you will find out iteration status, where you can create your own board. You can see here, planned velocity is 34%, which is automatically calculated by the story points. If you have any open defects, that will be shown here. If you have any task which is active, you can see it here. If you want to see inside the chart, you can see the complete chart will be available here. So if anything is pending, which is or anything is blocked, you can see in the red highlighted bar. If anything is progress, you can see in the blue bar. Now it's totally into the defined space. Because of that, you can see it here. You can change the chart view as well from selecting different options. Now here, you can change it to the iteration 1, where you can see several other components. In iteration 1, you have 19%, where 120 points you have created it. It means 23 story points is completed, rest other points is still pending, right? So this is the how the structure look like when we are walking into the rally. And in portfolio management, you will find it out the capacity planning. This will be done totally by the product owner or the Scrum Master or the top-notch business team who is handling the complete team for the RPA space or for the RPA working projects. So in many of the cases, you will find it out they are doing the planning earlier when they will start the meeting or when they will initiate the meetings. So this will help them to clear out all their open items so that they can highlight in risk as well as dependencies. So they are not doing silently or silo method. They're always consulting with the all the technology lead like team lead or testing team lead, then development team lead and the UAT team lead. They're consulting with everyone so that everyone can share their own timelines, and based on that timelines they are preparing these type of scenarios. So if you want to pull it out the reports of all your activities in the into the rally, you can see different types of reports is also there. If you are pulling for the iteration defect by priority, simply click on this and you just have to do some navigation and you will find out the complete defect report will be here. In iteration 1 and 2, there is no defect is available. Because of that, it's showing blank. But there are several other reports are also there, like burn down chart, then burn up chart. These all reports are helping to the business team to understand where their team is progressing, where they're actually lying. Then velocity chart is giving the how much they have done it and how much is pending status of any every iterations. So accepted during iteration is in green, but it is not in accepted. Means once they have started the user story or features, they are moving into the different stages. Like first is defined, second one is the post defined. They will start working on it. It means in progress. Third is completed, and post that it's in accepted. So accepted, whoever is the created that user story will accept it. Unless they will not accept it, this page will be appear into the orange flow. Now coming down to the some tracking point of team board, I want to show you the feature label. So planning here, you can see the versions. All of the versions is available here. In portfolio items, you will find it out these three items. So feature is basically when you have the timelines. So feature is the bigger piece of user story. So let's say if you are you want to complete it uh, within 2 weeks of time, it means one sprint, then you can create the user story. If you are planning to complete this feature within a 3 months of time, then that will create a feature for you. Inside one feature, you might have n number of user story and n number of tasks is there. You can see here. So while creating a feature, simply select this and click on add new and add similar steps. So creation of these portfolio items is similar to what we have done in a user story and task. So let me show you. You can see here, this is a feature where you can add your user story. And inside the user story, you can add your own task, which all team members are working. So the person who is working on their task, they have to create their task so that other member can track it, how many hours they are working for that particular project, right? Now, coming down into the detail sections here, whoever is creating this feature, majorly this is a task of product owner or the scrum master, and sometimes with the business analyst. So either they have to create it one by one in Rally, otherwise they can create in Excel sheet and post that they can import it, which is easily possible. You can see it from here. So they have to do the planning for their own features. When the feature is exceeding more than 3 months of time, then that will convert into the theme. So which is a bigger piece. So this will sustain up to the 180 days of time. So theme will be probably created by the sales team as well as the business team, which is going to be completed within 6 months of time, which means 182 days. Initiatives is a smaller piece where this is lying in between 3 months to 4 months, but themes is always on the bigger piece. Even if your any feature which is exceeding more than 6 months, that will also call it out in themes. So these three items will be bucketed in the different time zones, which is standard considered by the Agile methodology. So this is a standard rules. It's totally up to your organization. It's totally up to your team members who have decided to figure it out the durations. So let's say if your RPA project is exceeding more than 6 months of time, any specific project exceeding more than 3 months of time, then you can directly jump into the Epic. So Epic will be a bigger piece of feature. Then you have teams. So these three components are regularly created for every RPA project. So this is how we are logging into the Rally. So let's jump into the JIRA because we don't have enough time to cover each and everything. I try to cover maximum thing here. So let's move into the JIRA where I will show you similar steps in JIRA how we are using. Because not always possible you will find it out Rally in your organizations. You will get JIRA login credentials as well. So let's close this. Now, once you will create your login credentials, the developer or the ID creation, JIRA is also absolutely free for the training point of view, but you have to create your own instance. Once you will not use your instance, that will be going to be expired within 3 months of time. It means if you have created your account and created your project and you're not using for more than 3 months, it will automatically getting created from here. So you will find it out one. I do have several accounts in all of the portal because I'm always trying to explore new things. But when you are creating in JIRA credentials, you have simply have to click on JIRA software, which is a cloud-based application. You can also deploy it into your enterprises or in organizations, which is very much possible. Either you will get cloud-based credentials or you will get desktop application where you are doing the login. For creation of project is very much easy. Once you log in, you will find it out the screen where you can create your own projects. It's totally up to your login to login basis. So if you have senior level permissions or if you have permissions like product owner or scrum master, then only you can create your project. But if you have only permission to do some activities like viewing the task, viewing the user story or creation of defects, so at that point of time, you're not able to create the project. So creation of project is very much easy. You have to select the any components here, what you are going to perform here. Like if you are working in the marketing team, you want to work on the content management. Otherwise, if you are working in the project management, software development, you will find out these three pieces. So right now I'm proceeding with the Scrum. Use this template because this is the by default template provided by the JIRA, where you will find it out epic, story, bug, task. It is exactly similar what we have discussed in the rally. So subtask is smaller pieces of the task where if you feel or if the team feel that task is big enough, they cannot complete it within that period of time, then they will divide the same task into the different pieces, which is called as subtask. Bug is nothing but a defect where the testing team is logging a defect. Story is nothing but a user story, and epic is a smaller piece. Sorry, epic is the bigger piece of the user story. So here you will not find it out feature. Here you will find it out epic, which is a major skill or the bigger piece of your user story. So use this template, enter the name of your project and select any of the components which you want to. If you have a simplified configuration, you can use this one. Expert configuration, you can use this. Select any of this. Select team managed project or company managed project, which is it's totally up to you. So I'm going with this one. I have to enter the project name and the key. So once you add the project name, let me add demo BA. Yes. So it will automatically create key for you, which is already used for calling out or searching of your project in JQL. JQL is a JIRA query language where you are searching your different components by using some queries. So this is a unique key created for every project. If you want to modify it, you can modify it here only. Otherwise, in further or in future, you will not get chance to modify this key because this is a unique. So select that Scrum board and click on create project. And you will find it out the nicely organized project will be created for you where you will see different boards. Like you can see boards here in a Kanban board. Backlog items is basically you can backlogs item here. So when you want to add the create issue, you will get the three options here: task, bug, and user story. So you can also manage your issue types, like you can add your epic as well, but epic is the bigger piece. So let's say I want to add user story one here and create this user story. Sorry, user story one. I'm not able to see the screen. It's So once you'll enter this detail, you have to provide the complete detail about the user story. Now you can see one sprint is created. I've started from here, and once you will create the sprint over there, you can add your complete issues. So here You can add your sprint, edit sprint, where you can provide the sprint details like durations. If you're keeping 2 weeks of time for one sprint, it will automatically fetch the data. Otherwise, you can also define your sprint. So as I said in the rally sections, where we can select our own sprint, it's totally up to your organization which standard they're following. You can customize it. But when we talk about the agile standard, they're always considering one sprint equal to 2 weeks of time. 2 week is nothing but 10 days, because we have Saturday, Sunday of holiday. It means you will only get 10 days of working hours, right? In many of the organizations, you can set or prioritize your work or the sprint durations. In many of the organizations, they are working 6 days in a week. Then you will get 12 days, right? So update this field, add the details, how your sprint goal. So if you want to add a sprint goal, like you want to complete some of the user story, you can mention all your user story detail here. So once you are done, click on update and that sprint will be updated for you. Here, when we are creating a board, when we have different items like to do, in progress, done, and we want to move into the some items from the backlogs, simply we have to select these backlogs and move it to directly into the boards. So where here you will find it out the options, go to the backlogs and select your items which is available inside the backlogs item, and you can add it simply. So let me jump to the different project where I will show you how we can customize. I already have some of the items available. So here, now you can see here some of the work backlogs is already there, where you can see roadmaps. This is a roadmap which we are the business team is creating, how they want to proceed it. They have some epics point. Epic is feature only, where JIRA is called as epic. In Rally, they are calling as a feature. So they have the complete roadmap about their timelines. So people will create the different epic label. So let's say epic 1 is here, epic 1, and then you can create the epic 2. So it will categorize based on your project to project level, because not everyone is having a permission to work on every project. So it is totally starting from the project to project level. You can add the complete detail on selecting every epic. You can add the detailed descriptions, then assign person who is assigned to that, which all team members is there, and post that. You can bifurcate all of the settings, like you can create a smaller user story. You can also create the defect. Each and everything is clearly created in Rally as well, which is very simple enough. So when we talk about the simplicity of the applications, many or the most of the people are referring JIRA is much easier as compared to the Rally, because they have all the aspects are available here only, and in Rally you will find it out different components in the different filters. So when we have the searching capability, in searching point of view, when you are searching any user story or any epic point, you can directly search it through JQL, that is JIRA query language. You have to enter some similar type of queries here, and post that you will get the all these epic details, whatever you have entered in this. So if we want to extract any report, like they do have the different interactive reports, like if you want to fetch issue analysis or the pie chart report, we can see it here. Simply click this report and select the filter, how you want to get the reports, like resolution point of view. Or let's say I am working on the project level. So I want all this project to be calculated. You can see in demo project, there are 3 items is there, and one is all 3 is 100%. So similar type of, you can create your own reports and configure it accordingly, which is very simple enough. Here, if you want to create any issues, like if you want to create defects, so open here, open issues, and let's say export. This is the filter options where you can filter it out all these items. But when you want to create the issues, second, all issues. You have to select the board, and from the project level, you will get the items to create issues inside the Epic. So here you can add your own issues. Like if you want to add smaller tasks, you can create it smaller task here. If you want to add the defect, so simply create my recording is not working. Here you will find it out the creation. You can see this is created and which will be entered inside the backlog, because as of now we have not moved Epic 2 into this sprint. So definitely this will go into the backlog and they will push it further. You can add the complete description about the defect, like which all steps are there to reproduce this defect. Then you have environment, which all environment you will find out this defect, like UAT, QA or development, which instance you will find out this defect. Then all this come in, and if you have any additional attachments, you can attach it so that development team can find it out easy to track it to fix that defect. So this is how we are creating defect or issues inside the Jira. There are several other components, like if you want to search your complete code, or if you want to do the automations of Jira, which is absolutely fine, you can do it by using. This is a very integrated with the UiPath as well, where you can do all these automated activities. Like if you are creating the defect, you can automate that stuff in by using UiPath. If you want to fetch the report, you can automate that as well. So there are very interactive interfaces created and activities there, where by using that activity you can automate all of your stuff. Then they do have the project pages. If you want to add any specific project, like project pages like blank pages, where you are defining all of the SSD documents or PDD documents, you are just uploading into the any projects, you can create it from here as well. Otherwise, simply upload it. So any projects which you have any additional documents, like all of the documents, if you have, you can add it. If you want to create product related requirement documents, you have this simple and very interactive product requirement documents, where you can just change some of the name and your product documents will be ready. And decisioning point, if you want to take a sign of approval, you can create decisioning point of flow or charts. Meeting notes, let's say if you have completed your meeting, like retrospective meetings or the RPA related meetings, which we have discussed what you are going to cover, what you will complete in this duration. So this is the MOM or the MOM format. So you can use it, which is already available. But if you have any additional documents which is required to be created or uploaded, you can simply upload it by using attachment sections. Retrospective meetings always or regularly done by every Agile teams, where the people are talking about completely into the framework, where they are talking in terms of improvements. So these all are already done, so which you can use it. So this is how we are using Jira and Rally in RPA. So within one of the time, I understand it is not at all possible to cover each and everything, but I try to explain max of the points so that you are able to get idea how we are using this stuff. So on BA point of view, I've covered each and everything. But if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer it. Over to you, Niklesh.
Yeah, I mean, it was really wonderful session. I mean, you covered everything, like how to use or why we are using, so everything. So that is what even in the chat also we are discussing that. So we cannot cover everything in the one session or 1 hour session. So for JIRA only we can keep 10 sessions, or for Rally only we can keep 10 sessions. It was that much vast topic, but still he covered, like Deepak covered everything, what he need to do in the RPA, like high level. So whatever we want. So thank you so much, Deepak, for extending your time and extending the session. So Yeah. So let's quickly jump into the questions. So we'll see who will be the winner for today. So the question is, explain JIRA workflow. You will have the options as well. Okay. You have 5 options today. So explain the JIRA workflow. So you have 20 more seconds. I mean, last 3 seconds. Okay. So it's time's up. And many of you given the correct answer. So let's go to another question. I don't want to take your time. Okay. Okay, next question. List the type of reports generated in JIRA. So we have 5 options. So hope you everybody answered the correct answer. Let's see the correct answer. Okay, most of you answered the correct answer. So it is all of the above. So let's see today who will be the winner. So are you guys excited? Yeah. Let's see the leaderboard. Okay, so today are the winners, Mr. Aman Khan and Vikram Singh. So hearty congratulations, both of you, Aman Khan and Vikram Singh. So please drop an email